Howdy everybody, Lightart here, and today we're talking about my OC, and why I did what I did with them. Now, I went with an Alicorn, and in the Brony fandom, they're considered to be the Mary Sues of the bunch. Perfect, overpowered, no, basically highly annoying. But I believe my OC kind of defies that standard. And admittedly, a part of it's your opinion, but I have my opinions about him too. So today I'm going to talk about why I did what I did with my OC. Before we begin, please like and subscribe down below. Check out my other sites. And before I get started here, I do have to give a shout out to Mr. Tech. He was the one who came up with this picture for my OC, and just so you know, he does have a cutie mark. It's a teddy bear. And I'll explain that soon. But thanks to Mr. Tech, I know he put a lot of time and effort into this. Even though he missed the one small thing, it's still a pretty good art piece and a lot better than what I ever could have done. So, let's get started. Now, I was trying to shoot a few ideas through my head about what I could do with my character. About different races. I mean, I don't think anybody's really done a diamond dog. That could have been highly interesting. And, you got dragons, you got hippogriffs, you got all this cool stuff. But, no, and even just ponies in general. You got three options, and admittedly two of them are rather common. And earth ponies, they don't seem to get as much attention. But even then, earth ponies are pretty cool. But something kept drawing me back to doing an alicorn. A part of me had an idea for what my character could be. And I end up going over several ideas for my character until something finally stuck. And all honestly, it's one of the OCs that I am the most proud of for several reasons. Now, with the color palette, I wanted to go with blue. Frankly, it's one of my favorite colors. However, I noticed that there were a lot of blue OCs in the fandom. So I decided to just go with the blue for hair color and try to find, try and mix and match something that looked nice. I ended up finding one of those sites where I could make something like this. Admittedly, it's not like the random pony generator. No, it was something I got off of Google Play and that I don't really use anymore, admittedly. But it was something which I enjoyed. Which I enjoyed working on. And basically, the color palette you see for my picture, that's why I went with. As for the cutie mark, that goes into the backstory. Lightheart was born a unicorn. He and he is autistic, like myself. He basically when he got his cutie mark, basically he was trying to help one of his younger sisters who ended up, you know, getting a big rip in one of her dolls or something like that. And basically, Lightheart did what he thought was best. He ended up, no, no, normally he tried just making a joke, but he thought, hey, mom and dad taught me how to sew. I can do this. So he sewed it up while cracking several jokes, and that's how he got his cutie mark. It's a teddy bear. And it goes to show several parts of him. Not only his occupation as a toy maker, but his personality in general. Soft, sensitive, playful, sometimes fragile, a bit childish. But basically it goes to reflect a part of him personally. Now for the hardest thing to explain, which is how he became an alicorn. Now I went with a bit of a stark contrast, well, a bit of a contrast to what Twilight did, but still keeping some of the same principles from a previous video. Basically, I believe one becomes an Alicorn when the time is right. Basically, with Lightheart, with Twilight Sparkle, she got her Alicorn. No, she got her wings when she was at her best. She reached that point, she was helping her friends, she understood friendship. She was at the right point of maturity. Lightheart was a bit on a different end. He's always struggled with depression. And basically, he got to the point where he reached his wit's end. Basically, he started to give up on himself. And, he was outside town. He's literally the words he screamed before he became an alicorn. Before he was transported to the place where he became an alicorn was, why? Why my no, basically, why am I such an idiot? Why was I made like this? I believe when it comes to depression, the worst enemy against you, and I believe it doesn't matter who calls you, whatever, who picks on you and stuff like that. There's only one person who can't do that, and that's you. And because I know from experience, I didn't have kids bullying me, I was my worst enemy. And you can and you can see one of my past videos talking about Asperger's syndrome and me dealing with it to learn more about, but it's something which I firmly believe is when it comes to depression, your worst enemy is yourself. You need to be willing to accept yourself. And Lightheart, he wasn't at that point. So basically, he was transformed into an alicorn. No warning, nobody guiding him, showing him how this works. It was just him going to this place of magical energy, or however you describe that place where Twilight went to, with frames showing his life, but the good he's done. Him helping kids, making toys, trying to help people laugh, just trying to help people. And all honestly, to this day, Lightheart questions why he really became an alicorn. But at the end of the story, which I'm leaving in the description, basically Luna shows up and he gives him an idea of what he can be, of what he's possibly supposed to be. Basically, she states that, not everybody leads with the crown. Even though Twilight is called the Princess of Friendship, it's basically kind of a title, and she doesn't have much of a kingdom. Basically, she encouraged Lightheart once after Lightheart started to learn to be willing to live with himself. Luna encouraged Lightheart to just be him. Because this is an autistic kid becoming an alicorn. He can be an encouragement to others who struggle with disabilities, handicaps, personal problems, depression, all that stuff. He had the opportunity which nobody else had to lead by example, to teach others to show others, to inspire others, which Twilight, Celestia, and Luna they can that they wouldn't be able to do by themselves. Why did I go with this story? Because Lightheart is a part of me. I believe, it's my personal belief that I have an opportunity to help to lead others as well. It's it's something I really want to do in my life. I want to help and encourage others. I want to put a smile on other people's faces through laughter or whatever else. Admittedly, I'm not a toy maker. I'm still struggling with jobs and stuff like that, but who I am is an autistic guy who's just trying to help others, trying to encourage others. It's who I want to be, and Light Heart helps me embody a part of that. Uh, it's who I am. I'm childish. I can, I try not to hold a grudge, but there are times when I just, well, no, I'm depressive. It's hard to describe all of who I am, and I believe that having another person look at me and describe me could possibly give you or even me a better idea of who I am personally. I don't think Light's Mary Sue. Admittedly, it's a personal opinion. He's, no. And one more thing I do have to say about Lightheart is, unlike Twilight or other ponies, he's not good at magic. However, he is not like Lightning Bliss. I do want to exaggerate that. Lightning Bliss was born a Pegasus and became an Alicorn. She had to learn something which became natural to several ponies. As for, basically, as for Lightheart, he was a unicorn who became an alicorn. Flying was the thing he had to, struggle learning with, and I have a short story talking about that, but that's not what I'm going to touch on today. Basically, with his Asperger's syndrome, he's always had a problem with learning magic. No, all you see with magic is just a glowing horn. All these books and stuff, they could only show him so much. It t- no, it takes him twice as long to learn spells than it would for a normal pony. Admittedly, there are the few spells which he can do naturally, which came after he became an alicorn. No, and basically they weren't something that were defined in books. This was something that Lightheart defined for himself. No, spells which he kind of came up with on his own, and more stumbled upon admittedly. Lightning Bliss, her spells tend to explode in everybody's faces. Lightheart's tends to fizzle out when he does them wrong. In the end, I believe that Lightheart also helps defy the fandom's perception of Alicorns. Basically, he's not overpowered. He's autistic. He's got problems. He's not perfect. Doesn't even have too many friends. He's not the most social person out there. Most of his most of the people he knows best are his family and the kids who he makes toys for. And even then, he only knows people so well. He's not. No, he's no socializing is something which he struggles with, and that is a part of his stories. Light Light art represents a part of who I am. I've already said that, but that's just the basic summary of it. I believe he was made for my channel, admittedly, and I just came up and admittedly when I got into fanfiction, his origin story came afterwards. Basically, when you make a character, make him yours. Try and try and bring an idea when you come up with a character. What is he supposed to represent? As always, I am Lightheart. Please like and subscribe down below, and I'll see y'all next time.